Hello, perspective, and welcome to the amazing adventures of the people in my head. Today, we are talking about time. Now, time is a very curious thing, and I touched on it a little bit yesterday, but not very much. See, time is actually the only thing we can actually break down scientifically. See, a second is 1/60th of a minute, which is 1/60th of an hour, which is 1/24th of the time it takes for our planet to completely rotate, which is 1/365th of the time it takes to orbit around the sun. Now that is a very, very, very relative measurement because the Earth is slowing down in both its rotations and its orbits. So really, our time will not be the same forever, but we want it to be, right? So time is a very, very interesting thing because no matter what, we only get 24 hours in a day. Or do we? If you work for someone, or if you're a student and you do homework, they are getting your time, right? So let's say I go out and I get a job at Starbucks, and I'm working at Starbucks, and I work 8 hours a day, right? The owner of Starbucks, he only gets 24 hours a day, right? Plus my 8 hours. See, he's giving me this thing called money, which translates into time, right? Time literally is money. Right now, 1 hour, depending on where you are, is worth between $5 and $10. Right? And there was this movie that came out a long time ago that a friend told me about where they actually use literal time as money. Now that's frightening. And we're actually, that's probably never going to happen. But it's an interesting perspective because the amount of time we spend on things shows our interest, right? If I read a book, that's way different from watching a movie, right? It took me 6 weeks to read The Hunger Games, right? If I wanted to watch a movie, it'd take me maybe 6 hours once the third one comes out to watch all three of them, right? So it's a huge difference in the time invested, right? So the more time you invest in something, the greater payout you get, right? So the more time you work at that Starbucks, the more money you get later, which you can buy stuff. So time equals stuff, right? By simplifying the equation. So I have this shoe. My grandmother actually bought me this shoe. But it is a direct result of her working at the post office when she was an employee of the United States Postal Service, right? So maybe that cost an hour. So what if we literally traded an hour for a pair of shoes, right? What if you went to the store and you're like, dang, I really think those are some nice shoes. Oh, I guess I have to go work for an hour. And you went in the back and you sorted boxes for an hour until you're like, yes! Now I get my shoes, and you left with your shoes because you worked for an hour. Right? It'd be wildly impractical because it just wouldn't work. So I work at the Starbucks for an hour, and then I go and I buy my shoes, right? And the guy that's working at the shoe station or the store or whatever it is, oh, dang it. There goes a point. Okay, anyways, so he goes and he buys coffee later. It's a giant cycle of intermittence and loop backs and switch ups, and basically time literally equals money. So think about that. Have a great day. Don't do drugs because you're paying in time and money. So it's like you're paying twice. Stay in school. It's definitely worth your time. And don't eat roadkill because the time investment for hospital bills is way too much.